Hey, this your boy J-Ray back with another video, back with another live stream. And as always, this is Tech Tuesday. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Thank you for watching. Today is the day that I talk about tech. Any type of tech, from cell phones, computers, to movie tech, movies that have tech, stuff like that. So just sit back, relax, and let me get these in a little bit better. And let's go ahead and get into this. So, one of the things I want to talk about today is, of course, the Razr phone that is fixing to be dropping. And I gotta say, man, that thing has got my interest like up to here. You know, I'm ready to see the comparisons. I'm ready to see the reviews. I'm ready to really see what people think of this phone. We're talking about 835 Snapdragon processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 120 hertz refresh rate, dual front-facing speakers. I mean, this is just really awesome looking phone. Really fast. When compared to the Pixel, I mean, the Pixel looked like it was just moving in slow motion compared to the Razr phone. So now, me on the other hand, the design, it is a little boxy, but I like a boxy phone. I also wish that the back, their trademark on the back would glow. Either like glow green or RGB, like like a lot of their products do, a lot of their gaming products do. The other thing that I would like to see out of it is maybe instead of doing like a black and then having the green, which the limited edition, the back of the back of the phone, their logo, it is in green. But the other thing that I would like to see is probably like a green phone with the black logo. I think that would look really good. I kind of like those colors like that. Obviously, you can tell from my watch band that I do like colors like that. The other thing is, I believe it's supposed to have a 4,000 milliamp battery, which is insane. Hopefully it's optimized to where it's going to be able to give you all-day charge. Of course, it's going to have quick charge. There's no wireless charging, though, on that. But maybe the next phone that they come out with will have that, but who knows. But like I said, this is a phone that I'm really looking at. Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining. This is a phone that I'm really looking forward to, that I'm really looking forward to seeing and seeing the reviews on it. This year has been a really spectacular. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. This year has been really a spectacular year for smartphones by and large. We have the S8, the S8 Plus, the HTC U11. We've had the Pixel, the Pixel 2 XL. We've had the iPhone 8, the 8 Plus, the iPhone 10. We've also had the LG V30, LG G6. We've got the Razr phone. We got the Huawei Mate Pro 10 and the Mate 10. But the Mate 10's not coming to the States, but the Pro is. We also have... I'm trying to think real fast. Of course, I think I said the Razr phone is coming out, but regardless, there's several good phones coming out. Oh, the Essential phone. The Essential phone is also coming out. And you know, the Essential phone is one of those phones that I think is underrated because everybody kind of panned it. Because first of all, the launch took way too long. It did launch when it said it was going to launch. It wasn't really fully optimized. Like, the camera wasn't just stellar and everything, even though it was running close to stock Android, which is something I do like. But that being said, I think with all the updates and everything, I think the Essential phone is a sleeper. Now, what would make it even better is if they dropped it and gave it a permanent price cut to $299. You know, and I know that would really be undercutting their profits, their profit margin and everything, what they set for this phone. But here's the reason I say drop it to $299. Drop it to $299 to get your name out there. Get your name out there, leave the quality out there, same as OnePlus did. Also, OnePlus also had a very, very good phone with the OnePlus 5T. But drop your phone to $299 to get your name out there, to get people familiar with the Essential brand. If you drop it to $299, that's going to make it enticing for a whole bunch of people to pick up instead of paying $900, $1,000 for a Pixel, Samsung Galaxy Note or 8 or 8 Plus. Also, iPhone is going to be appealing to them. Also, iPhone users who may, for the better part, maybe wanting to try Android or maybe tired of Apple's ecosystem. Oh, sorry guys, let me get rid of that. But you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's all about getting your brand out there. If you get your brand out there, then you can start building up and charging those premium prices. You know. The other thing that I want to talk about today, of course, is an article that I had seen today on the news that was talking about Google's Play Store. There was a fake WhatsApp app in the Google Play Store. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because if you remember here a while back, there was several hundreds of malicious apps in the Play Store. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that Apple does get malware. I know because I had it. Apple can get a virus, even though it's not maybe not as common as what PC does, but Apple does get one. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm trying to make a point. Google found out that there was a whole bunch of malicious apps in the Play Store. So Google was supposed to perform this new algorithm, this new thing to clean up the Play Store, and they didn't do it. I mean, it cleaned up the Play Store, but you know, they were kind of touting it as, oh, we got it fixed, everything's good. But they're still having malicious apps come into their Google Play Store. You know, and I've heard people say, well, if you just check the ratings, if you check this, if you check that. But a lot of people don't pay attention, or the app's so good at copying the original app that you really can't tell the difference or anything. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I like iOS, is just for that security. You know, is having that security of knowing that the App Store, you know, Apple's vetting process, it is such a walled garden that the apps that Apple lets through is by and large pretty stringent, you know. So, you know, with having that, and then the Pixel 2 XL having the issues that it's having, Google's kind of having a rough time right now. You know, I was explaining in one of the chats that I think one of the things that has been Google's saving grace is not only does it run pure Android, but the fact that the camera on the Pixel is good. It's really good. You know, now I've watched the camera comparisons. I've looked at the camera comparisons, and to me, some of the photos from the Google Pixel 2 look really dark, or they're really bright. So, and the colors, like the colors and the detail, but that's just me. But I feel like that if I was to pick up, because I do like a bigger phone, I like a bigger screen, but if I was to pick up another Android handset, it would not be a Pixel 2. Not right now. If I had to choose one right now, it's not going to be the Pixel 2. I would be looking at the Essential phone, and I would be looking at the Razer. I would be looking at the OnePlus 5T. I would be looking at an S8 or S8 Plus. I would even look at the Note series. But Pixel 2 would be pretty far down on my list. And you know, and I'm not saying that the Google branded phone is a bad phone. I'm just saying that Google needs to tighten their ship a little bit. You know, needs to try and I guess get themselves ahead of this and fix. Now I know they sent out an update for the Pixel 2. Now whether or not that's going to fix anything, it's supposed to fix the burn-in and the colors, which I think is really, really good. And you're seeing Google being proactive about this. So I'm definitely happy about that. Definitely. The other thing I think that would have helped Google kind of get a leg up, or I shouldn't just say a leg up, but kind of help Google get themselves out there as far as word of mouth, is if they would have included the wireless Google Buds in with the Pixel 2. And with the Pixel, you know, charging that much, if they would have included the wireless earbuds in with the Pixel phones, that would have enticed a lot of people to say, hey, look, you know, Google's not following the direction of Apple. They're not following the direction of Samsung. They're actually giving the users and saying, hey, look, since you took a chance on our phones, since you've stuck with us and supported us, we're throwing these wireless earbuds in the box along with the phone. You know, and I feel that if Google would have went that direction, because you're already charging almost after tax and everything close to $1,000 for the phone anyway. And Apple, if you're listening, this is a knock on YouTube, because you should have, for the iPhone 8 and for the iPhone 10, you should have included a pair of these with your phone. For as much as we are paying for these phones, you should have included a pair of wireless AirPods with it. For $160, I think you could have spared a pair of these with each phone. Now, I like my AirPods a lot. I do. I use my AirPods a lot. But for as much as I paid for 2 iPhone 8s, you should have allowed me to have a brand new set of AirPods in with my phone, because I do use my AirPods daily. One of the things about, I don't know if a lot of you guys have upgraded to iOS 11.1.0. I've currently upgraded to it. My phone's doing great, but my watch OS is not doing too good. The watch OS in my phone is, I mean, the watch OS on my watch is not doing the greatest. I think the battery life has taken a hit. Here it is. I've been up since 6:30 this morning, or no, I'm sorry. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I put my watch on at about 5:20, and it is 7:27, and I have 30% on my watch left. So I can't, I mean, technically I've been a full day with the watch on, because let's see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 14 hours. Wait, did I do that right? Let me check. Let me count again. Let's see. No, okay, there we go. So that's roughly 14 hours of usage that's been on my phone. But Apple's like, well, you can get 24 hours of battery life on it. There's no way that I could go 24 hours or, on this watch. Now, I may be able to eke out a little bit more battery life if I put it into low power mode, battery saving mode. I would be able to get some more out of it. But the fact that I'm able to actually make it all day, I notice is in about 2 hours, in about an hour and a half, 2 hours is using 10% battery life, which is not great. But that being said, that's one of the upgrades that I really want to make, is to Watch 3, Apple Watch Series 3. I would like to upgrade to that. Pardon me, guys, and hopefully I will. But as it is right now, I'm just not able to. But that's okay, by and large, that's okay. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where the more tech gets, the more each generation, each year, every year brings something new. Every year brings the fact that, okay, we put a bigger battery in it. Okay, we've tweaked the software to where you're able to get better battery life. We've given you fast charging. We've given you wireless charging. We've given you this. So the more battery tech and the more that software and everything advances, the better off these products are going to be, by and large. Now, that being said, there are still some things that Google, Samsung, Apple, OnePlus, Huawei, Amazon, all these guys, they can improve on it. They really, really can. And they are. I mean, pardon me, guys. Ooh, I ate a very good dinner, and now I'm kind of, I'm ready for bed. But, these manufacturers have come out with some really awesome tech, some tech that has helped us, that continues to help us. Now, the thing, like I was saying about with Google, though, is I wish Google would tighten up on their security and on their updating their software and keeping their software up to date. I wish they were on par with Apple with 5 years of the latest and greatest for 5 years. But I also wish that Google would tighten up on their App Store and not really have it as locked down as Apple, but have it to where you're not having malicious software on your App Store, in your App Store. This is supposed to be your home turf. This is supposed to be the area where consumers can go and not feel like that they're going to download a malicious app, that they're going to download something that they're just not going to be able to get or not going to be able to use, or that's going to steal their information. That's not really consumer confidence. I don't have confidence if I have to worry about if I go to your App Store, am I going to catch a virus? I don't know. I mean, pardon me, guys. I'm so sorry. But, that's one of the things, like I said, again, that's where, a lot of people say a lot of things about Apple and about the way Apple does things. But in this instance, when I go to your App Store, I'm actually thankful that Apple does have their App Store and are very, very stringent about the way that they do stuff. Another thing, is I'm wondering, you know, I read another article today to where a lot of people are getting away from smartphones and just going with a dumb phone, you know, like an old flip phone or something, one that does nothing but make calls and sends text, and that's it, you know. Pardon me, guys. Whew. Sorry about that, but I was reading an article today that was talking about people getting away from smartphones and going back to the same old phones that we used to have about 10 to 13 years ago. You know, when everybody was using Moto Razr, the Nokia 3310s, the Samsungs, the Sony, you know, the old flip phones and stuff like that. And, you know, it makes me think because, I apologize, guys. But it brings back memories to when I was with Alltel. And me and my wife, we were with Alltel, and I got these Samsung flip phones, and I think I have one. Let me see if I got one here that I can show y'all. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I know what that was. Ah, there we go. Is this it? Yeah. Now, look here, guys. This is a phone that I used to rock. Oh, man, when did I rock this phone? 2006, 2007, I think it was. Let's see, 10 years. iPhone was announced 2007. So I was probably rocking this phone about 2006, 2005, something like that. But anyway, I don't know if y'all can see this real good. By the way, I'm using my iPhone 8 Plus for the camera, hooked up to my AirPods and everything. So I'm, and it's sitting on my wireless Choitech charger. But this right here, I don't know if you guys can really see it in the light real good. But this is a phone that I rocked for a long time. And this is the type of phone that, and you can see the quality right there. This is the type of phone that a lot of people are talking about going back to. Would I want to go back to a flip phone? Probably not. I don't know if I could handle going back to a flip phone and just not having service. Oh, pardon me, guys. I'm so sorry. But I don't know if I could go back to that phone because because being such a techie, being such a geek, such a nerd, like myself that I am, it would be hard for me to go back to this. Now, getting back to my story, I remember when me and my wife were with them and Verizon bought them out. And I remember telling my wife, I cannot believe that we are paying $120 a month for calls and text. No data, just calls and text. We were paying $120 a month just for that. That just blows my mind. Now, you can get phone service that's just calls and text for $20 a month, $40 a month. Data's the big thing now, you know. But it's just crazy to me it's crazy for me to think that being a techie, being a nerd, being the type of person that I am, that we would go back to this. Now, could I go back to this? I guess I could go back if I had to. If I just absolutely had to, then yes, I could go back to this. would I enjoy going back to this? Probably not. I don't, this is not me. This is not my thing. Now, I'm not saying that going back to the, because a lot of people are addicted to technology. A lot of people are glued to their handsets, glued to Facebook, glued to Twitter, Snapchat, social media. A lot of people are really, really addicted to that. Me, I do Facebook. I call it Spacebook because an old boss of mine, he was an older gentleman, and he came in and he was griping at us one day, and it reminded me of Craig's dad off of Friday, where he goes, "Oh, y'all walking around smoking all that tweed," and Craig goes, "It's weed, Daddy. It's weed," But he was talking about coworkers being on the computer, and he said, "Yeah, all the time. You're all the time on that computer looking at that Facebook and everything." And I just fell out, because somebody's like, Facebook? Well, you know what I mean. But ever since then, I have called Facebook Spacebook. But I feel like it's kind of appropriate, because even though I am a techie and I do like tech, Facebook is not one of those things that I use that I really get on. I have friends that message me, on there, and I may not read that message for 3-4 days a week. And they're like, "Oh, well, I messaged you on Facebook," and I'm like, "No, if you really need to get a hold of me, you need to call me, or you need to send me a text message. Don't send it through Spacebook. I could care less about that, So that's just me, and if I got rid of Facebook on my what am I thinking of? If I got rid of Facebook, got rid of my profile and everything, it really wouldn't bother me that much. Basically, the only reason that I have Facebook is for you guys, for my subscribers. So I'm not a big social media guy. Now, one of the things that I am is I like reading the news. I like reading tech news. I also like being able to keep up with the latest and greatest that's going on. As far as gaming, as far as what's going on in the world, and what's going on, of course, with Apple, Google, Samsung, all the big manufacturers. But as far as social media goes, it's not my thing. And I guess that's where I get into this conundrum of, is social media doing us more harm than good? Because you got to think about it. If we're interacting more on social media, then we're losing skills of interacting with other people up front, close, face to face, stuff like that. Because there's skills that you need in associating with people. Like, you need to, when you associate with somebody, when you're face to face with somebody, you're learning how to read their body language, their facial expressions. You're hearing the tone at which they're expressing something, and 9 times out of 10, I think social media does more harm than good. I feel that, because there's anonymity, let's say, how can I say that? Anonymity on social media, that people just get on there and say the most cruelest things. Now, I like YouTube, and I realize YouTube is social media, but I like YouTube because I can watch stuff, I can talk about stuff, I can talk to you guys about stuff that I like. I can talk to you guys about things that interest me, and if you find them interesting, then you can talk to me with them also, about them also. But you know, it's just one of those things. I think for me personally, social media is not something that I have to worry about. That I have to just, you know, I'm driving down the highway checking my checking my Twitter. You know, pardon me, but it's not something that, you know, keeps me up at night in saying that, well, I gotta check this, I gotta hurry up and check that, da 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 da. You know, it's just not that important for me. But, you know, I understand for a lot of younger people and for a lot of older people too, like my mom, in order to keep up with everybody, she stays on social media pretty heavy. But for me, not so much. Social media is just not something that floats my boat, I guess you could say. But now, I do like YouTube. Like I said, I like YouTube. I like streaming. I like gaming and stuff like that. But now, don't let that fool you, because I have thought about just giving it all up. Because you know, I enjoy doing it, but I already have 3 full-time jobs. You know, my first job is I'm a Christian. You know, that's a full-time job. You know, is spreading God's word, not just through what I say, but through my actions. My second job is being a husband. You know, helping my wife, being here for my wife, and just helping her with whatever she needs. My third job is actually going to work to bring home the bacon so that we can get our bills paid. So for me, even though doing stuff is fun, doing YouTube is fun, sometimes it can feel a little daunting, because, like, obviously you see me yawning, you see me, you know, a little under the weather with my sinuses and stuff like that. And some days I'm just like, man, I'm tired. Like yesterday, I was really tired with the time change and everything, trying to get used to it. But, you know, then there's also the other things that I really, really like the fact that technology allows me to video chat with whomever I want to video chat with. You know, whether it be my mom, my grandmother, my wife's grandmother, my wife's mom, my wife's sister, my brother, my sister. You know, it gives me the opportunity to talk with people and to actually see people face to face and be able to video chat that, you know, which I think is really, really cool. The other thing that I like, of course, is playing video games online. That's always awesome in apps. You know, being able to download apps and play games and stuff like that on the go is just really, really fun. I really, really enjoy it. So there's a lot of things. I also like the fact that technology allows me to not have to worry about a cable subscription or a satellite subscription anymore, because now I can just download everything onto my little box and stream everything that I want to watch, which is great. Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But so there's ups and downs, you know, and you know, I kind of look at it with, like, dealing with alcohol. You know, if I drink, I'm an alcoholic, and I know I'm an alcoholic, and I know I have a problem with alcohol, and I know that if I drink one drink's going to turn into being plastered, then I'm not going to go to a bar. You know, if I want to resist temptation, I'm not going to put myself in a place to be tempted. So, you know, if I know, like, okay, social media may be taking up some of my time, or this game may be taking up some of my time away from work, then, you know what, I may need to delete it and kind of step back away from it for a little while, so I can get my head cleared. And, you know, that's something that you know, when I was in school, you know, I did not have a good time in school. I did not like school. A lot of people that knew me knew that I didn't like my school. I did not like school. I liked a lot of the teachers. There was a lot of my teachers that are really, really liked. But I was one of those that was picked on, that was bullied, that was, made fun of, and stuff like that. And there's times that I did it to other kids. And, because of the way that I was treated, I thought, well, yeah, I'll just do it to you, But that was wrong. That was wrong of me. But, when I was getting picked on, when I was having those bad days, once I got home, once I got on the bus, and once I got home and once I got off the bus, the day was over. There was no more picking, no more. Now, I had time to decompress, but now that there's so much social media that is prevalent, you don't have that time to decompress, to really just let go and just be like, okay, the day's over with, And so I think it's a double-edged sword. I like social media for the fact of the things that I'm able to do, and for the people I'm able to talk with and associate with. But at the same time, I feel like that, at the end of the day, I'm just decompressing. I'm not trying to look at anything. I'm not trying to really read anything, and stuff like that. So, it's one of those things. It's about knowing your limits. It's about setting aside time and places and stuff like that. So that's just me. That's just I'm quirky like that. But and it gets into there's so many things in tech nowadays that I just really, really like. That a few years ago I would not have dreamed of even looking at or having. Who would have thought that you would be walking around with a tablet and it's the whole internet in your hands? Who would have thought that I would be able to look at a surround sound system that's completely wireless? That's the whole thing's completely wireless. I would have never thought that. And it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that really, really blows my mind, because I'm just like, man, this is an awesome time to kind of be alive, because now, if you really don't need a laptop all that much, you can buy a tablet. You can buy a tablet with tons of storage, tons of services that you need, that you really don't need a laptop, Or if you don't really need a laptop, then you can buy a big size phone, a big screen phone, and look at everything you need to look at right then and there, Pardon me. The other thing too that I want to bring up is look at security systems. Who would have thought that, back in the 80s, when you thought of a security system, maybe they had cameras or something, it was normally like in a big store or some celebrity or Hollywood something person had the cameras all around, stuff like that, all around their property to make sure that, everything was just okay and everything. And now we're able to use companies like Vivint, Ring, Nest. There's so many companies that we can use now. Now we got cameras everywhere. We got cameras inside our homes, outside our homes, and they run through our Wi-Fi network and everything. So I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that the things that I seen as a kid that we couldn't afford now is very affordable, very, very affordable, you know. So that that in and of itself is just, it's just really, really crazy to me. You know, and as a lot of you know, I collect Transformers. I actually have a few of them here, but I seen on YouTube this guy created basically a Transformer. It was a car, and he hit the button and the whole thing transformed, and it actually walked on two legs, and it was awesome. I was like, man, if they made an Optimus Prime like that, or a Mirage, or a Bumblebee, or anything like that, I would have been stoked. I would have been trying to sell a kidney or something to get one, you know. But it's just amazing to me just how far we come since I was a kid, and that's been in the span of 42 years, you know. So if that tells you anything, but you know, so that's been in the span of just 40 something years, 42 years, 45 years, whatever. That's been in this span that in just a short amount of time, how far we've expanded. To put this in perspective, I remember the first computer I ever touched. I believe it was a Commodore, and it was the keyboard. And you hooked it up to the TV, to a regular TV. But to get it to work, you had to program it. You had to program it to do all these things. I thought it was cool. Oh, I thought it was cool. That was my first introduction. That was my first introduction to programming. That was my first introduction to computers and to technology. Then I remember my biological father, when I went to stay at his house one weekend, he had an Atari 2600. Man, I wore that thing out. Oh, I wore that thing out. I did not realize, you know, thinking about it now, I did not realize that my biological father was actually a gamer way before I even knew what a gamer was. But yeah, he got me started on that, I guess you could say. But then we go from that to Super Nintendo. Or, I'm sorry, we go from that to Nintendo NES Classic System. And we also get into, around the time of the Super NES, where Gateway Computer Company was actually making it affordable for many people, many middle-class people like me and my family, to be able to afford a desktop computer. Now, I've had experience, you know, with computers at school and et cetera, et cetera. When we got this Gateway computer, and I remember, you know, they used to come on the commercial, and the commercial, the box would be shaped like a dairy cow. You know, it's black and white. It had dairy cow pattern and everything. And, man, the monitor in that thing, oh my God, the CRT monitors, they was extraordinarily heavy. Extraordinarily heavy. The computer, the hard drive, there wasn't hardly any space on that hard drive. The processor was, you know, but now, that being said, I remember you used to get the AOL disc, and you would put it in, and the modem, you'd hear it go, you know, and it would do all this cool stuff. And I remember thinking as a kid, man, this is so cool, you know. And then we go from that to having laptops, to having cell phones. You know, the cell phones that were coming out were in a bag. You had to have a bag with them. We went from that to having flip phones, to laptops, to iPads, to iPhone. You know, so in the span of less than 30 years, you know, less than 50 years, we've come a long way. And, you know, and technology is only going to grow. Technology is only going to expand by leaps and bounds. Pardon me, guys. Now, what that is, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it will definitely be something to talk about when it arrives. I'm thinking of you, Holodeck, from Star Trek. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the likes. If you enjoyed it, please continue to smash that like button, pound that subscribe button, and help me to grow as a YouTuber. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to me rant and rave and take a trip down memory lane. But I am fixing to call it a night. I'm fixing to go to bed. So, as always, this your boy Sub-Zero J-Ray saying peace. Have a blessed night. I'll see y'all Thursday. Thank you. Good night.